¿Qué tal a todos? Me da gusto saludarles. Mi nombre es Kerry Ramírez, director de Destino Australia, y me da mucho gusto que nos acompañen el día de hoy en este seminario en línea que tendremos con nuestros amigos del International College of Management en Sydney, conocido como ICMS por sus siglas en inglés. Y ICMS, que es una institución que ya lleva muchos años trabajando con nosotros. Hemos tenido muy buenas experiencias con ICMS y siempre nos da mucho gusto poder conectarnos con ellos porque es una institución que tiene un enfoque distinto, es una institución que busca mucho el enfoque aplicado y de preparación profesional para sus estudiantes, y de ahí que hemos tenido muchos estudiantes mexicanos que han realizado sus programas de licenciatura o de maestría o de un diplomado corto o de intercambios con ICMS. Entonces, pues vamos a tener una presentación muy interesante. Nos acompaña Amy Parker, que es la encargada de reclutamiento para todo el continente americano por parte de ICMS. Ella está conectada en el campus que tiene ICMS aquí en Sydney. Y pues les recuerdo que nosotros como Destino Australia les vamos a estar ayudando en todo su proceso de admisión, la parte de las visas, la parte de cómo pueden llegar ustedes, el hospedaje, todo lo que ustedes requieren para alcanzar su objetivo de estudiar en Australia. Va a ser una presentación, pues que es más o menos como de 30 minutos y luego vamos a dar tiempo para preguntas y respuestas. Y pues les recuerdo a todos que pueden contactarnos a través del chat. De hecho, los saludo a todos aquí a través del chat. Saludos a todos, lo pongo aquí. Okay. Veo que ya me saluda Carla. Y pues, bueno, a través del chat yo voy a estar contestando algunas preguntas que tengan mientras Amy nos da su presentación. Y ya al final también nos vamos a enfocar solo en la parte de preguntas y respuestas. Así que bueno, pues gracias a todos los que nos están acompañando y pues voy a cambiar de español a inglés para saludar a Amy y para empezar la presentación del día de hoy. So, hi Amy, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us today. We are looking forward to have the session with you. I was explaining to all our students today that ICMS is one of our favorite institutions that we like to promote in Mexico because it's an institution that is new, is fresh, it has a great quality in terms of the programs that you offer, and of course that practical view that ICMS has to offer. But I just want to say hi before we really started. How are you going over there?
Hi, Kerry. Thanks so much for giving an introduction of ICMS. I'm doing well. I'm in Manly Beach in Sydney, Australia, and from my desk right now I can see the beautiful ocean, and it's a really sunny day in Sydney and very hot here, so I guess similar to Mexico.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful day in Sydney indeed, and in Mexico probably will be a little bit late, as you know, because of the time difference. The day is just starting here in Sydney. But we are very happy to have you here. I was explaining to everybody that I will be on the chat while you're giving us the presentation. And also at the end of the presentation, if we have time, we can have a little bit of question and answer. Is that all right?
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, so I just let you drive the presentation. I will be here if you need anything else. And yeah, it's all to you.
All right, thank you so much. And thanks everyone for giving up some of your time tonight to listen to this presentation from ICMS. So ICMS stands for the International College of Management Sydney. And as on the screen there, it says study plus experience equals success. We really believe that working experience is very important. Not just the degree, but work experience as well. So I'm going to tell you about our different programs and about the different working options that ICMS can provide for you when you come here. So a little bit of information about Australia. You know, we're a small country. We have a population of around 22 million. Sydney is the largest city in Australia, and we are located in a small portion of Sydney, right on the beach in Sydney. So this is an aerial shot. You can see of Sydney City. You can see the Harbour Bridge on the right-hand side and the Opera House in the middle. And the fastest way to come over to where the school is located is on the ferry. So you can see there the Manly Ferry. And it will take you across to this beautiful location where you can see the ICMS main campus is up on the left-hand side, up on the hill. And it's only a 5-minute walk to the beach, so it's in a beautiful location, but you're close to the city because the ferry only takes 15 minutes to get to the city and then back to Manly. So very close to downtown Sydney, but you're living in more like a resort type area. This is a picture of Manly Beach. So you can see here in the height of summer, it's a very busy location. It was actually voted the #1 beach in Sydney. So Manly beat Bondi. Most of you have probably heard of Bondi, but Bondi is in the other side of the city and is where a lot of the tourists go. But a lot more people live in the Manly area and come to Manly Beach because it's a beautiful location. In Manly, there's over 100 bars and restaurants, so there's always a lot of things to do. There's a lot of nightlife, nightclubs, different activities that you can do, movie cinema. So you always will have something to do in Manly. And this is a picture of the International College of Management Sydney's main campus. So it's a beautiful heritage listed building. It was built in 1886 and it used to be a Catholic seminary. So the priests used to live at ICMS in this castle many, many years ago, but it's been a university since 1996. So we've been offering many degrees and master degrees here for quite some time. We do offer a range of undergraduate programs. So we offer general English if you need to improve on your English. We also offer academic English, and that's through our partner institute called Aspire Institute, which is located in Manly in the downtown area. We offer a study abroad program. So if you're enrolled in a Mexican university, you could come for 1 or 2 semesters and take some subjects that will credit back to your degree in Mexico. If you were looking to do maybe 1 year in Australia, we offer 1-year diplomas through Aspire Institute. So you could come and just have a taste of a program for 1 year, and that 1 year will give you credit towards your bachelor degree. If you know you want to start a bachelor degree straight away, as long as you finish your high school in Mexico, we will have a look at your transcript from your high school and we can make you an offer for the bachelor degree, which is 3 years. So the diplomas and the bachelor degrees all include working experience and they're all in different areas. So you can choose to study in business, you can choose event management, hospitality management, international tourism, property management, sports management, and then at the bottom is a full range of different business areas that you can specialize in. So there's a lot of different options and study programs, and the work experience will be related to your study program. So if you're choosing to study hospitality management, then ICMS would find you an internship working in a hotel so that you can get hotel experience so that it's good for your degree and good for your future career. If you're studying event management, you might like to work in wedding planning or sporting events or something like this. ICMS will also find this pathway for you, this job. So you do not need to find the work yourself. ICMS has a team that will work with you to find a job that's suitable for you and the employer. So all of our bachelor degrees include 600 to 1,200 hours of real-world work experience. Around 85% of these jobs have been paid jobs. So you can actually earn some money to help support yourself whilst you're studying in Australia. Before we give you this job and find you the placement, we work with you, we get your resume ready, we give you interview skills because we want you to be successful with your first interview at a company. So we try and prepare you, we help you to show you how to dress and really make sure that you're ready for that interview. And these are just some of our companies that we partner with. We partner with companies mostly in Australia. However, some of them are overseas. You can see there we do work with Disney, which is located in America. But the money is much better in Australia. The minimum wage in Australia right now is $18 Australian dollars per hour. So that's around 16 US dollars, per hour that you could be earning here whilst you're working in this job. And when you're in Australia studying, you can also work part-time whilst you study. It's included on your student visa. So that gives you the opportunity to get some really important work experience whilst you get your degree, and also to help you pay for your living costs while you're in Sydney. These are some of the positions that ICMS can find for you during your industry training. So it just depends on what program you're doing and where your area of interest lies. But we have about 400 different companies that we work with. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you. The English requirements for our diplomas and our bachelor degrees is an IELTS of 6. So if you have just a little bit lower than this, then we can ask you to come and study some English first, just to get you prepared and to the right level. But if you have a 6, then you can gain direct entry into our bachelor degree or our diploma. Our campus is amazing. It's a beautiful location and a beautiful building. We do offer on-campus accommodation. So if you would like to live on campus, you will have the option to choose a single or a double or a triple room and share with some other students. A lot of our students come from Australia, so 60% of the students are Australian students, so you'll be meeting them and studying with them, and 40% are international. So they come from all over the world to study at ICMS. We do have a few Mexican students. I'd love to have some more Mexicans come here. We have a few Argentinians, a few Brazilians, a lot of Europeans, a lot of people from Asia through Vietnam and Thailand. So it's very, very international. This is actually one of our Mexican alumni. So she studied her bachelor degree in hospitality management with us, and she did her internship in a hotel called the W Hotel. Now, I have stayed at the W in Mexico City, in Polanco, and it's a beautiful hotel, and it's part of the Starwood hotel chain that goes around the world. So she did her internship in the W Hotel in Sydney, and then upon graduation, she went back to Mexico, but not for long, because she got a job at the W Hotel in New York City, and she was there for a few years, and then she got promoted to go to the W Hotel in Barcelona. So her one internship in her one job that ICMS sourced for her gave her her whole career with the same hotel chain. So that is a really good opportunity for you to do the same thing. We also offer master degrees. So ICMS has 4 different programs. We have a Master of International Business. We have a Master of Management, and you can choose to specialise in management and organisations or tourism and hospitality. And we also have a Graduate Certificate of Management. The master degrees are 2 years, and they include 600 hours of work in a company. So the idea is you would study for 1.5 years only in the classroom, and then the final semester, the final 6 months, would be a work placement. So you'd be working in a company for 600 hours. And again, 85% of these placements have been paid, so that will give you a good opportunity to earn some money. And once you finish a bachelor or a master's degree in Australia, you can apply for the 2-year post-study work visa, and you can work in Australia for 2 more years, earning money for 2 more years. So this is a great opportunity to gain your degree and then keep working for the same company that ICMS finds you the job in for another 2 more years. The companies we work with, they really want our students to stay and keep working for them. So they're very interested in giving you a career for 2 more years once you finish. So this is an option, or you could go back to Mexico and you would have an international qualification that's recognized back in Mexico. The structure, as I suggested in the program, is you would start, one semester would be your foundation subjects. The second semester would be your specialist subjects, so management or hospitality or international business. The third semester are the capstone management subjects, and the fourth semester is your work placement, and you hand in a research report at the end. There's a lot of networking in our postgraduate programs, so we get a lot of company general managers to come in and speak to our master's students. We do a lot of site inspections where you can go out and see different companies and meet with different office staff and see what the real world is really like for a postgraduate student in a company. We have real clients come here, and you'll go out and meet real clients as well. We do special events on campus for our postgraduate students, and we have a professional speaker series from GMs from different companies to come and talk to you, and you can engage with them and ask them any questions that you might have. We do have a city venue for our master's students. So if you don't want to do all your subjects in Manly by the beach, you do have an option to take evening classes in the city in downtown Sydney. So again, it's 15 minutes away from Manly. And you can choose if you want to do 2 subjects in Manly and 2 in the city. You can do that. So most classes would be done over 2 to 3 days for your timetable for postgraduate. So that would allow you to have 3 to 4 days off of study time so that you could possibly work or holiday while you're here and see a little bit of Australia. So it's a really flexible timetable for the master's programs, and you choose where you would like to study. This just gives you an idea of a sample semester at ICMS. So you'll get an orientation week, you'll have 8 weeks of study, and then you'll get a mid-semester break, so you can have 2 weeks holiday. Then you'll do 9 to 14 weeks, and you'll finish in November if you started in July, and you'll have exams. So basically it's an O week, and then there's about 14 weeks of study, but in the middle you'll have a break, and then you have exams at the end. So this is a typical semester in Australia. The academic requirements to get into our master's degrees is that you have a 3-year bachelor degree or equivalent. So from Mexico, it would need to be a bachelor degree from a recognized university. And from memory in Mexico, I believe that's a 5-year degree, but Kerry will correct me later if I'm wrong. Or a diploma. So if you just did a 1 or 2-year diploma or associate degree, you can still get into the master's, but you need to have some work experience as well. If you have no qualification, if you just started working straight out of high school and you've been working as a manager for 5 years, you can still gain entry to our master's program via the Graduate Certificate of Business. So we're really flexible on our entry requirements because we would like more passionate students to come to do the master's with more life experience, so that everyone can engage and network together. The English requirements for our Graduate Certificate of Business is a 6 in IELTS, and for our master degrees, it's a 6.5. So if you find that you have a 6, you can still do masters, but you need to start with our Graduate Certificate of Business. which is the first semester of the Masters. So it will not extend any time in your degree and it will not cost any more money, but you just have to pass the first semester and then you move into the Masters. So it's still 2 years, okay, but you start with the grad cert if you have a 6.0. I'm going to skip this one because Kerry's going to show you a video at the end of my presentation. These are just the dates to give you an idea of when you could start at ICMS. So our postgraduate programs, they start in July and February each year. And our diplomas and our bachelor degrees, they start in May or September or February each year. Our English programs, they start every 5 weeks. So the English just depends if you need maybe 10 weeks just to brush up on your English before you start your degree. We would match it to a particular start date and give you a package. So you could do a little bit of English before you do your Masters, and it would be all on one visa. But most of the time I find the Mexican students that come here, they have very good English, and you don't usually require any English at all. So it's really great. Just a slide to show you some other things you may have seen ICMS in the media. If you saw the movie, The Great Gatsby, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, ICMS was the mansion in that movie, and you can see that picture of us down the bottom on the right-hand side. And Nicole Kidman actually got married at ICMS. She got married to Keith Urban, and our hospitality students did the service at their wedding. So they're just two really famous things that have happened here, but it is such a beautiful location that there's a lot of events that go on here, a lot of weddings, and we really encourage all of our students to work at these different festivals, events, corporate meetings, and get as much experience as possible. So this is my last slide. I wanted to thank you very much for listening to me this evening, and you can see our website address there and our email. But we work with Destino Australia very closely, and I've known Kerry from Destino for many, many years. We used to work together in Australia, and I can totally recommend Destino to help you to come to Australia. And it's always good to use them so that they can help with visa or English or housing or any questions like that you have. But right now, Kerry's going to show you a short video of ICMS, and then we'll have any questions I'm happy to answer.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Amy. We have a very nice video indeed. So I'm just going to put it for everybody. But thank you so much for this presentation. So let me just get the video ready for everyone, and we'll come back and have some specific questions and answers for everyone. All right. So we'll come back after the video. The video is about 2 minutes. So we'll come back in just about 2 minutes. All right.
Hi, I'm Daisy. I study a Bachelor of International Tourism here at ICMS. I decided to study here after attending the ICMS Open Day, where I completely fell in love with the campus and this beautiful view, which I get to look at every day. Since studying here, I've completely been immersed in the ICMS culture, where I make friends from all over the world, as well as my classes, which are completely fantastic in the fact that my lecturers have current industry knowledge and they are available to us 24/7 and are always willing to help. I live on campus and it's extremely convenient as all my meals are provided, I get to walk to class, and the residents here have now become my second family. On the weekends, we often walk down to Manly, which is about 10 minutes away, and hang out at many of the amazing places here. There are so many activities and clubs to get involved with here on campus. Since I joined the futsal team earlier this year, I've met so many people and we have so much fun together every week. Next year, I'll go out on industry placement as part of my degree for approximately 9 months. I love being a student here at ICMS, and it has been a great choice for me.
Excellent. Well, so that was a small video about ICMS. And we are back about. So we have. Sorry, we're back with Amy. Can you hear us, Amy?
I can.
Excellent. Good. Well, once again, thank you so much for that presentation. I think that it really highlights the kind of experience that Mexican students can have in your beautiful campus in Sydney. One of the great things, and when I was looking at the video, is one of the things that I always like about ICMS is that you always like to do things in the right way. You are not like the big universities who have 250 different programs. You just have a selected number of programs, but in each program, ICMS has put a lot of effort in getting the best teachers, the best curriculum, the best practical experience. So your students actually had a really good experience and they have a successful career, which is what everybody wants eventually. I have a few questions for you. Carla is asking us if the TOEFL that you require is the IBT or the institutional TOEFL?
It's the IBT.
Yeah. A few universities in Mexico, they offer the institutional one, but that's not valid for this kind of process. So you need to do the IBT, Carla. And they're asking us, Yasel, usually how is the payments and if there are any scholarships available, Amy?
Sure, yeah, we do have scholarships available for our bachelor degrees and our master degrees. First, you need to apply for the program that you want to study. And once you have a full offer to study with us with no conditions, so you've met the English requirement, you've met the academic requirement, then you can apply for the scholarship. And the scholarships vary in value. Some of them can be up to the first year of tuition fees. Some of them are for accommodation. So there's a lot of different options. And once you become a student of ICMS and you're studying here, we give scholarships for the top grades in the class, and we give company scholarships. So a company can sponsor you to continue your studies at ICMS, and they can also offer you an internship, which is paid to work with them. So there's a lot of different scholarship opportunities.
Excellent. But the most important thing is that they need to apply first, and they need to be fully accepted into the program.
That's correct. And then if you're unsuccessful with a scholarship, you would just pay your tuition fees per semester. So you do not need to pay everything at once. You can just pay as you go.
Okay, so at the beginning of every semester, that's when the students make the payment, and every semester you just pay your fees, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, just quickly before I go to the other one, because Carolina, she is from Colombia, and she's just asking if these scholarships are only for Mexican students or also other students from Latin America can apply to them, which I know the answer, but I'll let you answer that.
Any country is fine. We'd love to have some Colombians. We do have some Colombians actually in our master's program. So yes, it's applicable to any nationality.
Excellent. And the other interesting question is from Arturo, which is asking us if he has just an intermediate level of English, can he do some English at ICMS and then continue with the main program afterwards?
Yes, definitely you can. So that's what's called a package offer. So we would look at your English level and we would let you know how many weeks of English we think that you need. And we can give you an offer that says you need 20 weeks of English plus your master's degree or your bachelor. So it will be one offer for the whole program.
Perfect. Excellent. They're asking me for where can they see the fees. So I'm just going to share with everybody the link. So just give me a second. I have the fees here. Good. So I'm just going to put the link on the chat. Okay,
yeah, it's
so
up on our website, but basically a master's degree in US dollars, it's about 30,000 US for the whole program.
The whole program of 2 years.
Yeah, so it's really not too expensive for a master's degree. The bachelor degrees, they do cost a little bit more, but they are a longer program, so they're 3 years, and they cost about, in US dollars, probably about 70,000, so a little bit more than the master's program.
Yeah, but they are larger programs, of course. So basically for masters, around 30,000 US dollars for the whole program. That means the whole program. And an undergraduate for the whole program will be about 70,000, which,
Yeah.
just to let you know, Amy, it's quite competitive even with some master's degrees in Mexico. And one of the great values of ICMS is that you get the degree, you get the experience, but also remember you can stay here in Australia and apply for the post-study work program that allows you just to stay and work full-time for about 2 years more. And then later, if you want to do something else, you can do that. So it's excellent. So there you
It's a
go.
really great opportunity because the money that you can earn in those 2 years is quite substantial. So it would pay for all your living costs, and you would be able to save money before going back to Mexico.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So as a result of that, we already had quite a few Mexican students in your campus who had a great time. And I have to say that the majority, if not all of them, actually stayed in Sydney, and they are already in Sydney, and they will probably stay there for quite a long time. So great opportunity for everybody. And that takes me probably to one of the questions that we usually get from students. What would you recommend will be the next steps for students to apply? Probably to identify which programs they want to apply, or anyhow, you just probably let us know which steps you recommend to follow.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think feel free to email Destino and ask them any more questions that you have, and you can email me at the email address that you see on the screen, and then decide on which program that you're most interested in, and you can apply for that through Destino Australia, and they will send everything to me. They will send the application, and all your documents will be certified. And the turnaround time for us to get you an offer is only 48 hours. So as soon as you apply and we receive all your documents, it's a very fast answer to know if you're accepted into the program.
Excellent. That sounds really good. I actually just shared with everybody my email account in case that somebody wants to get in touch with us. Our services are for free. We are more than happy to help you. And we had some really good experiences with Mexican students at ICMS. Just a couple of questions more. Oscar first is asking us if the master's degree are 2 years, and then if they can stay for an additional 2 years more with post-study work. So the answer is yes, Oscar. So you study 2 years, and then you can stay for another 2 years more. And that's part of a post-study work program, which is run by the Australian government. If you want to stay after the 2 years, that's possible. There are some options that you can explore, like other kind of visas. But definitely what it's in this program is just the 2 years of the master's degree, and then the 2 years of post-study work rights. Okay. Yassel is asking us about the cost of accommodation for international students. Amy?
So it just depends on if it's for postgraduate because the semester is a little bit longer, or if it's for undergraduate. But to give you an idea, living in Australia in Sydney, they say that you should have about 18,000 US dollars per year for all your living costs. So for your accommodation or your meals or your travel is about this. But when living on campus at ICMS, we make it cheaper for you because we include all your meals into the price. So say for postgrad for one semester, the price would be about 4,000 US dollars for the semester for your accommodation and all your meals. So it's quite a good price for Sydney.
It's very, very competitive indeed. And also in your location, I don't think you can get anything for that price because it's absolutely beautiful. Like I just keep saying that, and students usually they are like, "Oh, you're just saying it because you work with ICMN." but it's truly an absolutely beautiful location. The location at ICMS, you can see the beach everywhere. It's so accessible. There are shops, there are restaurants, good public transport. So excellent just to hear
Even
that.
a few Mexican restaurants, Kerry.
Even some Mexican restaurants. Oh, that's pretty good. I have been in a couple of them, and they're quite good actually. So that's good. All right. Just Brenda is asking us. Usually, I think it's two kind of questions for you, Amy. As you know, students can work during their studies in Australia, but Brenda is wondering usually how you combine that aspect of working, but also when you are doing your internship as part of your program, how many hours every day or every week you're actually working. So if you can just give us more information about it.
So on your student visa to Australia, you're allowed to work up to 40 hours every 2 weeks. So basically 20 hours per week you're allowed to work. So you'll be studying and you can work part-time. In the holidays, when you're not studying, you're allowed to work full-time on your student visa. So this is really good over the Christmas period because you can work full-time and earn some really good money. During the internships, they're actually full-time positions in companies and they're part of your studies at ICMS. So you will be working full-time during the internship. Some companies, they only want students to work part-time during their internship, and so you can also study and do work part-time in the internship. So it's very flexible, and it just depends on what you are after, what you're looking for, and what the company can offer you at the time.
Excellent. And I think that joins with a question that Alan is sending us, which basically he's wondering, usually when you are doing the postgraduate program at ICMS, the master's, when you start the internship, like it's in the first semester, it's in the second semester. So can you just tell us more about it?
Sure. So the master's degree, it runs for 2 years and you study for the first 3 semesters. So you study for 1.5 years and then the final semester is your internship. So basically ICMS is finding you a graduate position even before you've graduated, and then you have to prove yourself to that company so that you can continue to work for that company on your 2-year post-study work visa. So it's a really good opportunity to finish the studies and then start working straight away.
Excellent. Yeah, well, that makes complete sense because also in the first semesters, you just have the academic experience and get ready for the internship to get a really good job as part of your internship. And then, as you said, because it's at the end, when you finish, you are ready just to start working a full-time job in Sydney or anywhere in Australia, which that's a good thing. We noticed that a lot of the graduates from ICMS, they don't necessarily stay in Sydney. They can go anywhere they want because it's such a well-known brand around Australia that they actually find positions in other parts of Australia. So that's excellent. The final question is from Oscar, which basically is asking us if you can start working only from the first day of classes. And yes, Oscar, that's the answer is yes. On your visa, the student visa only allows students to start working on after the first day of classes. So you arrive to Sydney. I wouldn't recommend you to start looking necessarily for a job because there is a lot of orientation and enrollment sessions that they are very, very good, and they will really help you just to adapt to your new life in Sydney. And then when you start in your first day of classes, that's when you can actually start looking for jobs. Okay. And he's also asking if he's traveling with his wife, can she work full time? And the answer also is yes. You can actually, your wife can actually work full time. It's one of the great benefits of the student visa structure here in Australia. If you bring your partner or your wife or your husband, your husband or wife can actually work while you are studying. So that's pretty good. So that's it. That's it. I don't know if there is anything else that you can tell us, Amy.
No, I just want to thank everyone again for giving up their time this evening to listen, and I really want to encourage you to contact Kerry or myself if you're not sure of anything, or if you have any questions. We can put you in touch with some Mexican students that are here, so you can talk to them in Spanish if you want to. And yeah, I would just love to see some of you and meet you later this year or next year in Sydney.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. We just got one additional question, but before I answer the question from Fernando, just one little as a question for you, Amy. I always like to hear that from our partners. What do you think is the thing that Mexican students enjoy the most when they are in Australia?
Well, I think for the Mexican students at ICMS, number one would be the location. Because it's on the beach, it's beautiful. But number two, I think, is the people. Australians are very open people. We want to meet people from different nationalities. And, we really love meeting Mexican students and students from all around the world. And at ICMS, you're going to have that opportunity. So it's easy to make friends. And I think the Mexican students that study here have very good English, and they're more interactive in the classroom. So our teachers really love hearing the opinions of our Mexican students.
Excellent. Sounds good. Yeah, we are very welcome here in Australia, I have to say it, and we feel very thankful for that. Australians are Mexicans. We are very social, so it's very easy just to make friends and to meet new people. So that's a very important part of the experience. And just one comment and question from Fernando before we finish. He's basically saying that during his high school, his marks for English, they were not that very good, but he actually has the score that is required from the IELTS exam. So he's wondering if the IELTS will be sufficient in this case just to be accepted. So yes, Fernando, if you already accredit the IELTS, that's exactly what we need. So don't worry about the other things. The IELTS is exactly what we needed. And there is another one coming from Arturo. It says that he's wondering if his girlfriend is going to study a diploma and he's going to do English. Can one of or the other work full time? I think we're just going to follow up that question by email, Arturo, because we just need to understand everything. It's a little bit complicated just to give you a straight answer, but yeah, I will just follow up that one by email. So I just want to thank Amy for her time, and also ICMS for your support and your interest in Mexico. It's an institution that continuously has been trying to reach Mexican students because they love to have Mexican students in the campus. And as you can see, there's a great opportunity for all of you. So just get in touch with us. And we're actually going to finish this session with a small video of one of our students that is studying at the moment at ICMS. Her name is Sofia, and she actually loves her experience at ICMS. So it's nice that we managed to capture a small video that she had sent us with some testimonials about her life at ICMS. Okay? So thank you to everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thanks, Amy, once again. We'll be in touch, and see you soon. Buenas noches a todos, y gracias. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's just put this video and load. And let me just get it from here. Okay. Here we go. Excellent. Just okay, this one. Okay, perfect. 1 minute and 42 seconds. Excellent. All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Hola, me llamo Sofía y estoy por terminar mi carrera en negocios internacionales en ICMS, Sydney, Australia. Australia es un país divino, con una cultura y un estilo de vida súper relajado, donde la gente es súper linda y amable y donde siempre hay algo que hacer. ya sea ir a caminar a un parque nacional, ir a la playa y aprender a surfear, o ir a hacer un barbecue al parque con tus amigos. Esta experiencia me ha ayudado no solo profesionalmente, ya que en Australia tienes la oportunidad de trabajar 20 horas a la semana como estudiante, pero también personalmente, ya que soy mucho más independiente y tengo más claro las metas que quiero alcanzar a nivel profesional. Y es algo que en verdad se lo recomiendo a cualquiera, que se quiten los miedos y las inseguridades y se atrevan a venir y a descubrir lo que Australia les puede ofrecer. Un logro que nunca hubiera sido posible sin la ayuda de Destino Australia, que realmente me ayudaron a que todo el proceso de aplicación fuera muy sencillo y a que escogiera la mejor opción de universidad para mí, que en este caso fue ICMS, porque me ofrecieron 6 meses de prácticas profesionales y aparte ofrecen becas a estudiantes internacionales.